Boom, 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 ba-da-dum, boom, 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 ba-da-dum, boom, ba. Yeah, fuck yeah, I said. First chatter. Ashes of Phoenix, hello! We're going to set a goal. Goal is set. Monetization is on. We are ready. You guys want to see some upgrades? Look at that in the bottom left, huh? How you doing, Doug? Look at that little upgrade, huh? Oh, look at that little upgrade. You see that in the bottom left, huh? Yeah. Upgrade, 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 upgrade alert, upgrade alert. Oh. Now, wait, there's another upgrade, but you will not see it until somebody donates $5 to the channel. Once we get $5 a minimum donated to the channel, you will see the next upgrade. Pretty sick, if you ask me. Pretty fucking sick.
I've been waiting for you to go live since 12 a.m. Central Time. LMAO.
Cameron Hawkins, thank you very much for waiting so long for me to go live. That's incredible. That's incredible. You did a good job. You waited, and now I'm live. And now I'm going to end the stream. Totally kidding. Oh, there's the donation. Let's see if it works. Oh, that's a $4.99 donation. Maybe I should. Do I have to change the minimum to $4.99? Do I have to change the minimum to $4.99? Maybe I do. Hold on. Oh, there we go. There's a $5 donation. Is it going to go through? Thank you for the $4.99 donation, though. I really appreciate that, though, silly little guy. Is it going to pop up? Is it going to pop up? Is it going to work? Come on. What if this was a scam for me to get $5 donations from you? It was not. It's supposed to pop up on the top left here. Maybe, I think it's because you donated right when I swapped to the big camera only. Unironically. It popped up with a $4.99 donation? Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, so wait, let me change this and make sure I add that, what is it? It's an alert box. We're going to do add alert box, add source, that one, add source. Okay. So now it should be there for both the big camera and the little camera. See, guys, I'm an idiot. I'm like a monkey with thumbs. Monkeys have thumbs, don't they? Fuck. But I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to technology. So I'm learning as we go. Okay? You guys saw the little pop-up, hey. You guys saw the little pop-up, hey.
Boom, boom, boom.
So you guys want to see something funny? Monkeys do, in fact, have thumbs. Don't ever challenge me. You assholes. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Valenti broadcast. I'm your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti. And we got some stuff to talk about. Elon Musk is trolling Donald Trump on Twitter. It's really funny, even though I fucking hate Elon Musk. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. And then Trump responded to Elon Musk's attacks on the big hideous bill. Trump just passed a new Muslim ban. He's banning all travel to the United States from 12 different countries who are primarily Muslim nations. However, he's left an exception for their Olympic athletes and their World Cup athletes. What else? Trump and Xi Jinping had a phone call. Yeah, the Ketamine Crusader. We got a new name for Air Force One, which is Panda Express, because inside of it they house orange chicken. Doug loves ketamine. Great job, Doug. I love Elon and I love ketamine. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, frankly, we love ketamine and we're going to be giving free ketamine to all Americans starting off in Hawaii, in the island of Kauai. Good God, that was cringe, indeed. Anyway, this chair keeps on shrinking and I'm starting to tweak. I can't handle this level of psychosis. I can't. I need to stay this high. Okay? If I get any lower, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And to buy some merch. We haven't sold any merch in a while, and Daddy needs money. Here's some merch. Here's some No But You Don't Understand with my bearded face on the mug. Check that out. And also, guys, most, like 70% of the money that I make off of YouTube comes from you guys. It's from donations. It's from memberships. It's from people on Patreon. I make very little money off of the ad revenue. So if you do want to support the channel financially, please donate to the channel. My favorite capitalist, Chris Valenti. That's me, always serving the capital machine. Anyway, so we've got, look at this. This is a tweet from Donald Trump, but look at the date. January 23rd, 2013, okay? 2013, Donald Trump goes, I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I am a Republican and I am embarrassed. And this comes before he's the president, and now he just passed a big, hideous bill, which has a $2 trillion increase to the debt ceiling. So guess who fucking retweeted this? Elon Musk. Elon Muskrat is throwing fades left and right at his former king, Doland Duck. Wise words, said Elon. Holy ever-loving fuck. We've got a $50 donation from Missing Space. Been waiting to drop a bigger donation for a while. Finally can. Love you, Chris. Please keep up the amazing work. Thank you very much, Missing Space. I really appreciate that. W Missing Space. That's fantastic. I really appreciate you guys. Also, we got a new piece of wall coming in. It's going to be called the Cube. It's going to be an electronic cube where our top chatter and our top dono and most recent dono are going to be able to manipulate the cube. And the cube will have LEDs, and it will have a screen, and it will have a marquee, and you will be able to manipulate the cube. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. The cube will be coming soon. We will be bringing in a cube. Anyway, I've got a couple of reposts from the day that I want to show yous. What do I want to show you? What do I want to... Oh, yeah, this is important.
Bro, this guy has to be the dumbest mayoral candidate in the history of New York City. And that is saying something. Cuomo was asked what his bagel order was. His response, a bacon, cheese, and egg on an English muffin.
Problem one, having a bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. That belongs on an everything bagel. Problem number two, who the fuck calls a bacon, egg, and cheese a bacon, cheese, and egg? Who are you? What sort of reptilian man is this? That's a reptile. There's no other explanation. It simply has to be a reptile. Okay? Firmly, you just saw it yourself. Andrew Cuomo is a reptilian shapeshifter from the planet Mars. We got a couple other things here. Thank you for the $5 donation, Egghead. Elon is going to end up spilling everything. This is exciting. I don't know about that. Listen, if there's one thing that Elon Musk wants more than anything else, it's to be popular. It's to be loved. And whether that means tacking to the left or tacking to the right, in identity politics, yeah, he might do that. But Elon Musk, in his core, is a Nazi. Okay, he is a white supremacist. He is a tech feudalist, right? He's a horrible person. So he may wrap himself in the guise of like a moderate Democrat now that he's seen what the Republican Party has done, but that's not who he is. And we saw that when he was geeked up on ketamine and fucking ecstasy at inauguration, and he was so geeked up and he let it out. He let it out and he Sig Heil'd twice on the world fucking stage. We know who he is. Elon is a radical centrist? No, Elon Musk is a Nazi. Check this out.
Shame! 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 Shame!
Is that a fucking grenade launcher? What are you, invading Kandahar? What the fuck are we talking about? Also, this is for the ICE when they rolled up to an Italian restaurant because they were so scared of all the guineas and all the fucking Mexicans inside the restaurant. They're like, oh, we got to bring a grenade launcher.
Shame! Back up! Yeah, back up! Back up! Shame! 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 Shame!
Look at that fucking pussy. Look at that, 5'6", maybe. 5'6", and the only reason why you feel so big and strong is because he has his fucking M203 grenade launcher.
Shame! 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 Shame!
Yeah, back up, pussy. Back up.
Shame! Shame!
Back up, pussy.
Shame! 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 Back up! Yeah, back up! Right! That's right! Back up! Back up!
Remember, this is because ICE rolled into an Italian restaurant like this, and they arrested every single person working there. All of them. ICE arrested every single person working in this Italian restaurant, and the town said, absolutely the fuck not.
Cowards! Go! Yeah, get the f*** out! Get the f*** out! Cowards! 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 Coward! That's right! That's right!
Fucking pieces of shit. Thank you for the $5 donation. Elon is still evil. I just hate Trump and find it hilarious when the girls fight. Oh, yeah, there's absolutely nothing better than when the girls fight.
Just so you know, he has.
So these are people who showed up for their court date. They are here for at an immigration courthouse in Manhattan, New York. They are here for their court hearing to become legal residents of the United States of America. So when people tell you, just come here the legal way, here's videos of people coming here the legal way, being detained by ICE before their court hearing.
He has a case reset for 30 days from now.
That's
Okay, but he has to be here in 30 days.
And you just got to come down here, please.
Ellos dicen que vaya con ellos.
Thanks. You got to come down here. Let's do it. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, just so you guys know, like they have 30 days. They have to get back into the court.
Yep.
30 days.
No. No, don't.
I'd ask you to come with me, please. Right down his legs. Right again.
Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. If you watch a stream last night, we covered Zoran's debate. He fucking killed it. Yeah, dude, Elon is throwing so much shade. These are all old tweets from Donald Trump. Look at this. Look at all these responses. That's the Trump I thought I was voting for. That man needs to be in charge. I voted for smaller. Dude, all of these. This is the moment of truth. It's happening before your very eyes. Why does your TikTok have less followers than I remember? Oh, my main account got permabanned for posting a picture of Trump holding Kilmar Abrego Garcia's tattoo and the photoshopped one. And that got pulled because that is Photoshop. And the TikTok AI is smarter than Trump and was like, you can't post that. That's Photoshopped. So I ended up getting banned for it. But you guys are seeing the change in the tide right now in front of your face. Elon Musk, he's the richest man in human history. And he has a lot more sway in American politics than I wish he did. But Elon Musk turning on Trump is going to cause a lot of those MAGA cultists to start questioning their own reality. And it's happening. It's happening. Let's see some of the responses. Elon, you're from South Africa, and here's a piece of advice that's commonly said in India. Be cautious when dealing with Americans. What the fuck does that even mean? Yep. Trump and Elon are having a breakup. The girls are fighting. Oh my God, he's really just going fucking crazy. False, this bill has never shown to me even once, and it was passed in the dead of night so fast almost no one in Congress could even read it. What is this? Hold on.
But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here.
That's fucking
better
true.
Than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate because that's billions and billions of dollars. And it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, it became a little bit different. And I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape, he said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you?
Wow. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Dude, fuck you, Elon. You were the one who were pushing this entire goddamn thing. This whole fucking thing is a distraction. The whole fucking thing is a distraction. And it's all because, and we've talked about this in our previous videos, Elon Musk and XAI are poisoning Memphis, Tennessee. Dude, I hate this chair so much. Maybe I should swap it out for that one for a little bit. This fucking thing is just, it keeps on shrinking and it goes faster every day. Every day the thing is fucking shrinking faster and faster. Elon Musk replying to Elon Musk? What the fuck is this? Yeah, it's almost like there wasn't a widely talked about document called Project 2025 that detailed step by step everything that's happening.
You put out on Truth Social a post regarding your conversation with President Xi.
Right.
Oh yeah, let's get Trump Truth Social up.
We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. It's very complex stuff, and we straightened it out. The agreement was we're going to have Scott and Howard and Jameson will be going and meeting with their top people and continue it forward. But no, I think we have everything. I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points, having to do mostly with rare earth. magnets and some other things.
Those reduced trade tariff
Did he mean to say minerals? Oh my God.
rates, they remain in effect?
Yeah, we have the deal. I mean, we've had a deal. We announced the deal, and we'll be. I guess you could say. I wouldn't even say finalizing.
What up, Jack?
Scott, I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is. Okay. We had a really good conversation. By the way, he invited me to China, and I invited him here. We both accepted. So I'll be going there with the First Lady at a certain point, and he'll be coming here hopefully with the First Lady of China.
Yeah, let's see how the fucking Republicans react when you have a goddamn meeting with Xi Jinping, closed door in the Oval Office. And this fucking guy acts like he's not the swamp. He is the fucking swamp. This guy is he is the deep state. All right. I just concluded a very good phone call with President Xi of China, discussing some of the intricacies of our recently made and agreed to trade deal. The call lasted approximately 1 hour and 1.5 hours and resulted in a very positive conclusion for both countries. There should no longer be any questions respecting the complexity of rare earth products. Our respective teams will be meeting shortly at a location to be determined. We will be represented by Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and United States Trade Representative Ambassador Jameson Greer. During the conversation, President Xi graciously invited the First Lady and me to visit China, and I reciprocated. As presidents of two great nations, he's calling China a great nation. Fuck yeah, based. This is something that we both look forward to doing. The conversation was focused almost entirely on trade. Nothing was discussed concerning Russia and Ukraine or Iran. We will inform the media as to scheduling and location of the soon-to-be meeting. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, jeez. Oh, Donald. Oh, Donald. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He's making official decrees on fucking Truth Social, bro. Official decrees. Royal decrees. Shockingly, the Democrat-controlled CBO just announced that the tariffs will be reducing the deficit by at least $2.8 trillion. That's not true whatsoever. Too bad this information couldn't have been released earlier. It would have kept people from knowingly saying untruths. That is complete bullshit. The CBO did not say that. What the fuck are you talking about, Deep State Donnie? What are you talking about? Dude, this guy's going fucking nuts. I think it's time we address the fucking elephant in the room, which is Donald Trump may have early onset dementia. He may be losing his fucking mind. He's too old for early onset. I don't know, man. He's what, 79? 79 or some shit? Best Trump impression, better than SNL. Thanks, Logan. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah. All right, let's keep watching.
Can you talk about whether or not you feel that trade talks, trade relations are back on track after appearing to be a little bit off track last week?
A little bit off track. It was only the complexity. It's pretty complex stuff. We had a very good conversation with President Xi a little while ago, just before your arrival. In fact, we just hung up, and they said, "You're here." I said, "That's pretty good." Two great leaders of the world in a very short period of time. We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. This is very complex stuff, and we straightened it out. The agreement was we're going to have Scott and Howard and Jameson will be going and meeting with their top people and continue it forward. But no, I think we have everything. I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points.
Bro, he's so fucking stupid. He never actually makes a fucking point. He just rambles like a dipshit.
They remain in effect.
Yeah, we have the deal. I mean, we've had a deal. We announced the deal, and we'll be. I guess you could say. I wouldn't even say finalizing it up, Scott. I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is. Okay. We had a really good conversation. By the way, he invited me to China, and I invited him here. We both accepted. So I'll be going there with the First Lady at a certain point, and
dude, where the fuck has Melania even been?
The First Lady of China.
From Germany. Did you talk about the Chinese students? Are you allowing them to come to the U.S.?
No, Chinese students are coming. No problem. No problem.
Okay,
motherfucker, you just announced you were banning Chinese students.
We want to have foreign students, but we want them to be checked. You know, in the case of Harvard and Columbia and others, all we want to do is see their list. There's no problem with that.
He wants a list of every single Chinese student enrolled in the United States.
Because when we see some of the people that we've been watching, we say, where do these people come from? How is that possible? No, we want to have foreign students come. We're very honored by it, but we want to see their list. Harvard didn't want to give us the list. They're going to be giving us the list now. I think they're starting to behave, actually, if you want to know the truth. Okay.
What fascists do, they attack education centers first.
Are you willing to put more pressure on Putin to end the war by imposing new sanctions?
Sanctions don't work on Russia, dumb fuck. We know that.
The one that ended Nord Stream 2, going to a place called Germany, come to think of it. I'm sorry I did that. I don't know. But I ended Nord Stream 2. Nobody else did. And then when Biden came in, he immediately approved it. That's the largest, essentially the largest pipeline in the world, going to Germany and other countries. And by the way, we have so much oil and gas, you will not be able to buy it all. I mean, you literally, we have so much, and I hope we're going to make that a part of our trade deal because we have more than anybody else. We have actually the most, by far in the world, probably double what
yeah, it's called the emergency ration, bro. The reason why we don't tap our own oil fields, the reason why we have so much resource in the United States that we don't use, is so that come a rainy day, come nuclear Armageddon, we can rebuild. That's the whole point.
A very good man to deal with. He's difficult, I would say. Can I say that? It's a positive.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't want me to say you're easy, right?
Oh my God, look at his hair!
He's
Oh my God! Oh my God! Turn your head.
Just going to have a good relationship. The rest will just sort of follow very easily. We'll have a good trade deal. I mean, I guess that will be mostly determined by the European Union, but you're a very big part of that, so you'll be involved. But we'll end up hopefully with a trade deal, or we'll do something. You know, we'll do the tariffs. I mean, I'm okay with the tariffs, or we make a deal with the trade, and I guess that's what we're discussing now.
Yeah.
Brother, dude. I don't know a fucking thing about that guy. I don't know shit about this man, but I can say one thing. I immediately know that he's a self-conscious man. And how do I know that? It's because he's desperately clinging on to the fucking last speck of hair on his fucking head. Brother, just shave your goddamn head. Just go full Johnny Sins, bro. Just shave your fucking head and embrace the bald. Just embrace the bald. What the fuck is this? Oh my God.
Or we'll do something, you know, we'll do the tariffs. I mean, I'm okay with the tariffs, or we make a deal with the...
This is the Chancellor of Germany. This is the modern equivalent of the Hitler mustache just sitting there in a shaved face. You know, it's out of style. You can't put it on your face anymore as a German being accused of being a fucking Nazi. So he decided he would migrate that shit up north and put a little patch right there. It's like a dog whistle.
The trade, and I guess that's what we're discussing now.
Yeah. Mr. President.
Back there, please. Go ahead.
Mr. President? Okay.
Is Germany doing enough on defense, Mr. President? Is Germany doing enough on defense?
What?
Defense spending.
Is Germany doing enough on defense?
The Chancellor wants to...
Is Germany doing enough on defense?
Wants to spend 3.5.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't discussed it very much. I know that you're spending more money on defense now, and quite a bit more money, and that's a positive thing. I'm not sure that General MacArthur would have said it's positive, you know. He wouldn't like it, but I sort of think it's good. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand.
He made a statement, never let Germany rearm. And I said, I always think about that when he says, sir, we're spending more money on defense. I say, oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. But, you know, at least to a certain point. There'll be a point when I'll say, please don't arm anymore if you don't mind. We'll be watching him. I'll get it.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Biden, Mr. President.
Yeah, Biden.
Yeah, Biden? Oh my God, dude. What a genius reporter. You want, dude, honestly, even if your question has nothing to do with Biden, if you want Trump to answer your question, you could just go, Mr. President, Joe Biden, Mr. President, Biden, immigrants, Biden, DEI, Mr. President, DEI, and he'll go, oh yeah, you, DEI, Biden, immigrant, yo.
Your predecessor dismissed your Autopen investigation. He said he made all the decisions during his presidency. I'm curious your reaction to his dismissal.
Well, look, the Autopen, I think, is the big scandal outside of the rigged election of 2020. I think the biggest scandal of the last many years is the Autopen. Yeah. And who's using it?
What about the Epstein list, Donnie? What about the Epstein list, Donnie? Could you show us the Epstein list, Mr. Doland? Would that be all right by you, Mr. Doland?
I'm going to think I know, okay, because I'm here. And I'm not a big Autopen person, fortunately. I'm glad. I'm very glad. It's an easy way out. But it's...
imagine if we find out later that Trump has been using an Autopen. Like, you understand that he is attacking the Autopen function so much that he cannot use it, right? Anything that he uses, that, like... Let me explain something to you. I don't know if you guys sign a lot of documents, like fucking lease documents or some shit, but, like, we live in 2025, bro. People email shit that needs to be signed, and then you can make the signature once, right? And then click save, and then it'll, like, you just click, like, add, and it's an Autopen feature. If this motherfucker has used that for anything, he's so cooked, and I don't believe, like, there's no shot that King Doland signs every last document. Bull fucking shit.
It's a very bad thing, very dangerous. You know, I sign important documents. Usually when they put documents in front of you, they're important. Even if you're signing ambassadorships and I consider that important. I think it's inappropriate. You have somebody that's devoting 4 years of their life or more to being an ambassador. I think you really that person deserves to get a real signature, not an Autopen signature. And I can tell Autopen easily. I can look at it. Like two little pinholes from pulling the paper, right? You always see the pinholes. Yeah. It's real easy to tell about Autopen. I think it's very disrespectful to people.
Yo, real talk. Do you think Doland dresses himself? I would not, like, I don't believe he dresses himself and puts on his tie. Do you think he has, like, a little caretaker that, like, dresses him up in the morning? And his fat, wrinkly, saggy fucking body. And they're like, arms up, Doland. And he, like, puts his arms up and, you know, man, they button him up and somebody does his little tie for him. Like, because you know he's not doing his own makeup. You know, like, here's the funny thing about Doland. This man, the president of the United States, the one that these alpha bros praise, this man, every morning, sits in front of a mirror with lights on it and has makeup artists, probably women, right, dolling up his face with bronzer and a little bit of blush. Like, that's not even a conspiracy theory. That's guaranteed. And the thing is, it's not unique to Doland at all. This doesn't even have anything to do with Doland. This has to do with being a president, and this has to do with being on camera. I've had makeup done. I'm a fucking actor. I've been on camera a million times. This is what you do. But, like, it's so funny that this is the one that the alpha bros praise so much. Look at this man. This is your leader? Look at his fucking neck. It looks like a vagina. Dude, like, literally, it looks like a vag.
Autopen signature. Outside, Autopen to me are used when thousands of letters come in from young people all over the country and you want to get them back. And, you know, people use Autopens for that, to send a little signature at the bottom of a letter. We have thousands of them. We get thousands of letters a week.
My apologies to vaginas worldwide. All right, I didn't think about the fact that comparing that to a vagina would be insulting to vaginas across the planet. My apologies.
It's not possible to, do. I'd like to do it myself, but you can't do it. To me, that's where Autopens start and stop. But I'm sure that he didn't know many of the things. Look, he was never for open borders. He was never for transgender for everybody. He was never for men playing in women's sports.
He was never for transgender for everybody. Let me hear that again. Hey, conservatives, explain this.
I'm sure that he didn't know many of the things. Look, he was never for open borders. He was never for transgender for everybody. He was never for men playing in women's sports. I mean,
explain that, conservatives. Your own King Doland is saying that Joe Biden was never for transgender for everybody. Fucking idiots.
He changed. I mean, all of these things that changed so radically. I don't think he had any idea that what was, frankly, I said it during the debate and I say it now. He didn't have much of an idea what was going on.
Mr. President.
Unironically, he is correct. Joe Biden had no fucking idea what was going on, and Joe Biden is a moderate Republican. Always fucking has been. He is an ideological Zionist. He's a war hawk. I mean, listen, Trump has one point here, which is that Biden was not a leftist, and there were a lot of progressive policies going forward, but that wasn't Biden's choice. That was the people around him. Thank you for the $5 dono, Egghead. I appreciate that. How much we all want to bet that Trump used the Autopen? 100%.
You shouldn't be. I mean, essentially, whoever used the Autopen was the president. And that is wrong. It's illegal. It's so bad. And it's so disrespectful to our country.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, will you leave your troops in Germany? And if I may ask a question to the Chancellor to answer in German for the German audience. How has your first encounter been?
The answer is yes. We'll talk about that. But if they'd like to have them there, we have a lot of them, about 45,000. It's a lot of troops. It's a city when you think of it. That's good economic development. They're highly paid troops, and they spend a lot of money in Germany. But the relationship with Germany is very important. Yeah, we'll be doing that. No problem.
May I say a few words in German to the German public? So, danke für die Frage. Wir sind hier im Weißen Haus und ich bedanke mich beim Präsidenten für den sehr freundlichen Empfang im Oval Office in diesem weltweit bekannten Raum. Ich freue mich sehr, hier zu sein und wir bereiten eine Vertiefung unserer Zusammenarbeit vor. Ich freue mich sehr darüber.
Mr. President, you've made... Mr. President,
do you speak English because you speak such good English? Is it as good as your German, would you say? Do you feel more comfortable?
No, it's not my mother tongue, but I try to understand almost everything and to speak as good as I can.
Very good. That's
Mr. President, you've made...
It's an achievement, actually. Thank you.
Mr. President, can I follow up on the Autopen? Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big...
Here we go!
Beautiful bill. What's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which of course, what is you're seeking?
Right, shut the fuck up.
I've always liked Elon, and I was very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because
Musk and your big, beautiful bill.
Und wir bereiten eine Vertiefung unserer Zusammenarbeit vor. Ich freue mich sehr darüber.
Mr. President, you've made... Mr. President,
do you speak English because you speak such good English? Is it as good as your German, would you say? Do you feel more comfortable?
No, it's not my mother tongue, but I try to understand almost everything and to speak as good as I can.
Very good. That's...
Mr. President, you've made...
I want to make sure I have this up. Yup. And then Doland. Where's this thing about China? It's got something about China here. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to make a video real quick. All right, guys? Quick vid. Quick vid. All right. So Trump and Elon are having a big breakup. The girls are fighting, and despite the fact that Elon Musk is, benefiting immensely from the big, beautiful bill because he's the richest man in human history, all Elon cares about is two things. One, being popular, and two, covering his own ass because he's poisoning Memphis, Tennessee. So Elon is trolling Trump on Twitter. We're going to cover a couple of these tweets. And Trump finally, he responded to the whole thing. He's doing an interview with the Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, who, real quick, I do want to point out, he doesn't have a Hitler mustache, but he does have a Hitler head stash, which I think is remarkable and is only a sign of self-consciousness. Because, my friend, you could simply shave the head and then you could rock the bald look, but instead you're desperately holding on to your last piece of hair. But we are going to cover a lot of this. One of the first things I do want to show you is this tweet from King Doland back in January 23rd of 2013. When he tweeted, "I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I'm a Republican and I am embarrassed." And the funny thing about it is Elon Muskrat retweeted this 2 hours ago saying wise words, essentially throwing shade at Trump using his own fucking words against him. And then there's more of this. I mean, this is another one from 2012 that he retweeted. It goes, "No member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficits not allowed." And then my favorite one, which is this. Elon tweeted out like a laundry list of Trump's old tweets back before he was the president, when he was like, trying to get people to rally around him. So he was saying incredibly populist things, "We could use a balanced budget amendment. Politicians don't have the will to cut spending." All this shit, right? And he retweets it out, trying to throw shade, showing that the Donald Trump, the president, is not the same thing as Donald Trump, the candidate. And what I find really poignant are actually some of the replies here, okay? Let me turn the chat box off to show you for a second. Okay, look at these replies here. So, "That's the Trump I thought I was voting for. That man needs to be in charge. Not sure I'm following. Are MAGAs on Trump or Musk's side now?" That's also the thing, is the MAGA chuds are going to have a real hard time choosing between the Fuhrer and the president. Because Elon Musk, well, they truly praise him as a god. They think he's this super genius, fucking sending us to space, creating all this super shit. And that's because they're unironically dumber than dogs. But don't forget, all Republicans are servile doggies, okay? They lap up every last puddle of piss that the Republican Party throws down on the floor for them. And that's because Republicans don't know how to think for themselves, okay? They never have. They've always relied on the billionaire class telling them what to do. Exactly. I voted for smaller government, less spending, and not bankrupting the country. That's the Donald Trump I voted for. What have they done to him? I want him back now. Almost makes you wonder who was writing the tweets. So, and also, this is so clearly like a fucking swastika with like the H for Hitler. If we increase budget, we'll kick out all the immigrants. We can get as bankrupt as we need to. So, yeah, that's just like a fucking Nazi. And you're going to start seeing a lot more of that shit because, as you've noticed, the Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, the Islamophobes, the worst people that you can imagine, they feel incredibly emboldened by the Trump regime because Donald Trump is all of those things. He's a fascist, which means he creates a climate that lets the Ku Klux Klan and the Nazis and the racists, it helps them flourish, and Donald Trump relies on their vote. Why do you think he pardoned all of those January 6ers? Well, it's the same reason that we have ICE patrolling the streets wearing masks. Who do you think those people are? They're the same guys at the Charlottesville rallies. They're the Proud Boys. They're the America First crowd. They're volunteers making $30,000 a year. That's what this is. So, We're also going to cover a little bit of Trump talking about his phone call with Xi Jinping, but we have a lot to talk about. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Also, this is real independent media. I have no funding. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser or a billionaire or a government. So if you do want to help the channel out, please donate to the channel, buy some merch, become a member on YouTube, become a patron. Almost all of the money that I make comes directly from you guys, and I cannot thank you enough. I love you all. Thank you for 66,000 subscribers. You could also buy some Valenti Videos merch right down below. It's some pretty cool shit. But without further ado, let's just jump into this interview in the Oval Office that turned into like a Q&A about Elon Musk rat.
Achievement, actually.
Mr. President, can I follow up on the Autopen? Thank you, Mr. President. The criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill, what's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, you know, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never...
Right. It's the biggest tax cut for the 1% in the history of our country. It's also the biggest wealth distribution from the bottom 10% to the 1% in the history of our country. So you know how like everybody accuses us of being communists and how we're just saying we want to take the fucking money from the rich and reallocate it to the working class, tax the fucking billionaires? Well, Trump and his loyalists have decided to flip that on its head entirely and take money from the poor, the bottom 10%, by slashing Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, food stamps, taking all of the government institutions that are meant to help us, the American people, and redirect that money to tax cuts for the billionaires such as himself. Isn't that something? Chris, check Elon's most recent tweet. All right, let's see. Elon Musk. From 1 hour ago. This is what he just... No, that's the pinned one. From 10 minutes ago. Where is the man who wrote these words? Was he replaced by a body double? Dude, they are... And the thing is, I understand that Elon is trolling, right? But his followers are so stupid. Like the MAGA crowd is so mentally stunted that they will think that he is serious about a fucking body double. Let me see this. Let me just see like if there's any replies yet. Anything about, can you stop crashing out, please? My fart coin is going down. It's disappointing to see unnecessary division at a time when unity is critical. If Trump can betray... That's a swastika! If Trump can betray Elon Musk, join hands with Syrian terrorists, and do crypto business with Pakistan, then it's no surprise he could also betray Modi. Gee. Oh, never mind. That might be the Indian swastika. I have no idea. The body double was the one tweeting that? Yeah, so these people are actually going to start believing that this is an actual fucking body double. Jesus Christ. All right, let's keep watching.
It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut, you would say, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts.
The tweet above that? There's another tweet above that? Jesus Christ. Elon Musk. What did he say? I don't see a poll. Oh, this poll. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Shut the fuck up, dude. This guy, you're not one of us. You're not a fucking American, dog. You are a South African, apartheid-raised, foreign-born fucking billionaire. Fuck off to the hole that you came from, you fucking piece of shit.
This tax cut, you would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable, and when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people.
You know what you're doing for small businesses? You're increasing the price of all foreign goods by fucking 40%, dipshit. How the fuck do you think small businesses in the United States operate? They buy cheap shit from China and then upsell it. That's the whole fucking... That's how America functions, you goober.
All of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And, you know, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and, you know, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, you know, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles. And they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, you know,
Brother, you've already given Elon Musk $32 billion.
Knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, you know, he recommended somebody from, that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, you know, look, we won. We get certain privileges. And one of
Did this fucking idiot just say that he wouldn't put somebody as the head of NASA because they're a Democrat? I never want to hear anything about divisiveness from the fucking MAGA chud brainworm-ridden idiots ever again. We're talking about NASA. Let me explain something to you. NASA is so apolitical that the head of NASA during the Apollo mission was a fucking actual Nazi. Wernher von Braun, the man who created the Saturn V rocket that got us on the fucking moon, was an actual, literal Nazi. NASA doesn't give a shit about who the fuck they employ as long as they're good at their job. And you go, well, I didn't want that guy to be the head of NASA because he's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. Holy ever-loving fuck, what a dipshit.
the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our, we'll be checking him out, seeing, but...
Yeah, because the head of NASA we got to make sure that he loves Trump. We got to make sure that the head of NASA is a fucking Trump loyalist. What?
Wanted that person...
Let me explain one thing real quick, guys, just so you understand. I don't give a fuck who the head of NASA votes for as long as they're focused on the mission at hand. Genuinely. It's not like the head of NASA has any fucking political power. I don't give a fuck. Their job is space exploration. Does anyone give a shit if the fucking head of NASA supports Trump or not? I don't care.
A certain person, and we said no. And, you know, I can understand why he's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we'll anyway.
They're literally talking like it's a fucking breakup. He's literally acting like he just broke up with his boyfriend. Listen, me and Elon, we had a great relationship. I'm a great power bottom, and I threw that orange ass back on Elon's gargly dick so fucking hard. Like, literally, this is what it sounds like.
Anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred. And I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing, you know, I'd like you to discuss it, the 2.8 trillion that CBO, this is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile to us. They just came out with phenomenal numbers, what it does. You want to mention that, Scott?
Yes, sir. So what we've seen is we keep hearing from the CBO that there's going to be a large deficit from the bill, which we disagree with, but using the CBO scoring, they came out and scored the tariff revenue. We think it'll be the minimum of $2.8 trillion over the 10-year window, which actually puts the bill in surplus if you include the tariff revenue, which they won't do.
Oh, so we just have to wait 10 years. Oh. Yo, if you still support Donald Trump, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Chat, boo this man. Boo! Are you fucking kidding?
It gives you a tremendous surplus, but we're not allowed to use that. For some reason, they say scoring. Nobody knows what scoring means. Maybe a couple of people, but nobody. Somebody sits in the background, they say, well, we're not going to allow that. They're not allowing other things that we have that are tremendously profitable for our country. But if you saw the other day, CNBC, they came out with numbers, and the people on the show, very good people, I've watched them for a long time, they couldn't believe the numbers, how good they are. The numbers were incredible, and that was personal income and also very low inflation. We have very low inflation. We're down to 2% now, and maybe even lower than that. And when I took it over, it was a mess. Remember,
real quick, look at that comment. The tolerante left. Learn to fucking spell, dipshit.
Worst inflation probably in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say I think it's worse than that. So we had the worst inflation in the history of our country under the Biden administration. Now we're down to a beautiful number, 2%. You'd actually like to keep it there. Better than zero is 2%. It's going down maybe to 1, and 1% is like perfect. That's perfect. You don't want to have zero for certain reasons that nobody is very interested to listen to. But we have almost perfect inflation. Grocery prices are down, everything. Remember eggs? Eggs, we weren't going to buy another egg for the next 20 years. They were so expensive, right? Remember? You guys all hit me about eggs. Eggs have come down 400%. Everybody has eggs now. They're having eggs for breakfast again. But if you look at gasoline, very important. I think always the most important because it's the energy is the biggest factor. That's what happened. He screwed up our energy policy. And everything went up because energy went up. But now energy is way down, and they have states where you at $1.
All right, I don't give a fuck about the rest of what he's saying unless he brings up his breakup with Elon Musk rat. And then one other thing I wanted to cover in this video was his, he had like a phone call with President Xi Jinping of China. 我们继行走历史长城 I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I think Xi Jinping is my trigger word. But here's a quick little coverage of what he said.
We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. It's very complex stuff, and we straightened it out. The agreement was we're going to have Scott and Howard and Jameson will be going and meeting with their top people and continue it forward. But no, I think we have everything. I think we're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points, having to do mostly with rare earth, magnets, and some other things.
Nope. Not rare earth magnets, my brother. Nope, that's not the word. The word is minerals. That's not the word. The word is minerals, King Doland.
So those reduced trade tariff rates, they remain in effect?
Yeah, we have the deal. I mean, we've had a deal. We announced the deal, and we'll be, I guess you could say, I wouldn't even say finalizing it up, Scott. I would say we have a deal, and we're going to just make sure that everybody understands what the deal is. Okay?
So they said, what's the deal? And he said, we've got a deal. We're going to send people over there to make the deal. What's the deal, Mr. President? Well, you've got the deal. It's not been finalized, but we've got the deal. Well, what's the deal? The deal. Is this the art of the deal? Is this the fart of the steel, Doland? You stupid fucking idiot.
We had a really good conversation. By the way, he invited me to China, and I invited him here. We both accepted.
I can't wait to see how the fucking MAGA rats react to President Trump having a secret closed-door meeting with Xi Jinping in the Oval Office. I can't wait to see how quickly these motherfuckers turn heel and go, "We love you, Xi Jinping!"
So I'll be going there with the First Lady at a certain point, and he'll be coming here hopefully with the First Lady.
So he also made a little tweet, an official tweet, because he makes royal decrees on fucking Truth Social. I just concluded a very good phone call with President Xi of China, discussing some of the intricacies of our recently made and agreed to trade deal. The call lasted approximately 1.5 hours and resulted in a very positive conclusion for both countries. There should no longer be any questions respecting the complexity of rare earth products. It's minerals, Donnie. Our respective teams will be meeting shortly at a location to be determined. Are you just telling the whole world that leaders of China and the United States are about to meet in a location and you're going to tell us? Are you a fucking idiot? We will be represented by Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and United States Trade Representative Ambassador Jameson Greer. During the conversation, President Xi graciously invited the First Lady and me to visit China. It's First Lady and I. And I reciprocated as presidents of two great nations. Oh, so now he's calling China a great nation. I thought you were calling it a Chinese communist hellhole. This is something that we both look forward to doing. The conversation was focused almost entirely on trade. And nothing was discussed concerning Russia and Ukraine or Iran. See, this makes me think that there was stuff discussed about those two. We will inform the media as to scheduling and location of the soon-to-be meeting. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Dude, he keeps on saying thank you for your attention to this matter on like a lot of his posts, and this is because he genuinely is trying to use Truth Social as like an official place to do royal decrees from the king. So yeah, listen, they don't have a deal. The Chinese have all of the cards. Trump is like a fucking idiot with his dick out on the table, and the Chinese have a goddamn butcher knife. He has no idea what's coming. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And if you do want to support the channel financially, become a patron on Patreon, become a member on YouTube. Those two things give you access to the Valenti Bros Show and the Valentavi Show. Other than that, you could buy some merch, and you can use the 40% off discount code for the Vantage subscription on Ground News, located in the description below. Do one last thing for me. Click that video right over there. I promise you, it's a banger. There we go. Taco. That was a pretty good video. If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. Lily-livered, turkey-necked, limp wrist Sally. That's what Trump is. Hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah. Hell fucking yeah, brother. What do we got?
President Trump says a new travel ban impacting 12 countries will take effect Monday. The
Muslim ban 2.0.
President also confirming that he spoke with the Chinese president this morning. Natalie Brand reports.
President Trump and Chinese President Xi spoke by phone this morning amid escalating trade tensions between the world's two largest economies. Tariffs are also on the agenda as President Trump welcomes Germany's new chancellor to the White House.
My impression of you, Jack, when you join my Xbox party, this is what you sound like. Hey, dude. I was just wondering if you want to play some Century. And I go, Jack, what? You go, hey, dude, I was just wondering if you want to play some Century. You fuck.
The visit comes as President Trump looks to bar citizens from several other countries from entering the U.S.
Nothing will stop us from keeping America safe.
The order takes effect Monday, impacting foreign nationals from 12 countries, mostly in the Middle East and Africa, and partially restricting entry from 7 others. The White House says there will be exceptions for lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, and some other categories.
In my first term, my powerful travel restrictions were one of our most
You found 1,000 ants. Burn your house down.
successful policies.
The president's first-term travel ban triggered protests nationwide, confusion at airports, and legal challenges, with conservative justices on the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately upholding it. Advocacy groups, including the International Refugee Assistance Project, denounced the new travel ban and are working on their next steps.
We're certainly exploring...
Jack, you literally never beat me in Toy Soldiers once.
all of our options to protect people seeking humanitarian pathways to the U.S.
President Trump is also pressing the Senate to pass his massive budget bill, but the legislation is facing a new round of attacks from Elon Musk. In a series of social media posts, Musk, whose formal advisory role recently ended, is calling on lawmakers to kill the bill, saying, quote, bankrupting America.
What about the mic? What's wrong with the mic?
America is not okay.
Elon, look, we don't have time for a brand new bill. And I want Elon and all my friends to recognize the complexity of what we've accomplished here.
GOP leaders from the House and Senate say the wheels are already in motion to get this package.
Hi. Hi, girl. Wanna whinge. Hi, mama. Wow, big strange. Wow. Mr. Bean. Bean. Hi, Beans. Bean. Hi, handsome. Bobby? Yeah. Hi, weenie girl. Yeah, happy weens. Hi. You have a good nap? Did you have a good nap? Oh, yeah, you gotta cover your face. Yeah. Wow. 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 Hi, baby. Come here. What? That dog is such a little fucking freak. She's such a little freak. Come here. Come here. Get back here. You little fucking rat. What? Oh! Hi. Hi, girl. Dude, all the news is all about Elon. Elon and Trump. Elon and Trump. Elon and Trump. Elon and Trump. Chris, FYI, I like big booty and I cannot lie. Me too, Ed. Me fucking too, Ed. Me fucking too. Yep, Mango Mussolini and the Ketamine Crusader have struck yet again. They are having a public breakup. Very bad. Very bad. Excuse me. Let's see how Fox News covers it.
Meanwhile, here back home, everyone is wondering, is the big, beautiful bill going to be passed? And one of the people is an ally of the president, Elon Musk. He said this on Wednesday. Call your senators, call your congressmen. Bankrupting America is not okay. He's advocating to kill the bill, Ainsley.
Then there's an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning that says Trump is losing patience with Musk's outburst over the mega bill. They write, a senior White House official said Trump wasn't happy about Musk's decision to lambast his signature legislation, describing the president as confused as to why the Tesla chief executive decided to ratchet up his criticism after working so closely with the president for 4 months. The official said senior Trump advisors were caught off guard by Musk's latest offensive.
Couple of things. There's some speculation he's upset that his pick for NASA, to run NASA, was not confirmed. He went with somebody else.
The green card credit as well.
And he's upset about the tax subsidy for electric cars. But keep in mind, this bill is really not a spending bill. They're trying to make the tax cuts permanent, build up the military, and build up the border. Those are pretty much what President Trump ran on. He's got between $600 and $800 billion in cuts. Senator Josh Hawley.
Yeah, $600 and $800 billion in cuts to what, dipshit? Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP. And Social Security.
Hawley says too much cuts to Medicaid. Some Republicans like Rand Paul go, not enough cuts to Medicaid. Same thing with the House. Same thing with Susan College. Too much cuts to Medicaid. Ron Johnson, not enough cuts to Medicaid. So the president has got to run this orchestra along with the speaker and majority leader. It is not his option to sit on the sideline and snipe. I can't believe Musk doesn't understand
the problem with that Musk is running into is that he's done a lot of this with a lot of his companies where he's the ultimate decision maker. He doesn't have to go to, different congressmen from different states to get approval. And so he thought when he became the head of DOGE under the leadership of the president, when he did all these cuts, that they were going to be permanent because he did all the work there. Well, the government just doesn't work
well,
that way.
There can also be a second reconciliation bill if they're not happy with how this one goes. There could also be changes to the budget in September. But you have the head of the Senate, head in the House. You have John Thune and Speaker Johnson reacting to this. Listen.
We're a long ways down this track, and we realize that this is a bill that the House spent a lot of time analyzing. I think we've said we've had like 18 different meetings now with the Senate Finance Committee, and we're committed to making a law that will make the lives of the American people better. And so we are.
Did Elon tweet again, dude? Elon tweets out like 50 times an hour. Balanced budget or bust. Where is the John Thune of 2020? Not even those in Congress who had the vote on the big ugly spending bill had time to read it. Dude, he's going crazy. How many tweets is this in the past hour? Hold on, let me go back to the past hour. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's an AC 130. GG's. 13, 14, 15. I gotta tell my group chat this. Balanced budget or bust. I wonder if I refresh it if there'll be a new one. No. Woman sheep.
We are moving forward, and I'm hopeful that at the end we'll have 51 votes in the Senate.
We don't have time for a brand new bill, and I want Elon and all my friends to recognize the complexity of what we've accomplished here. This extraordinary piece of legislation. We're proud of this product. The House Republicans are proud of it, and we're happy to go out and explain that to everybody.
By the way, I think that they're betting on the growth. They bet if you give people more of their own money, if you put investment into these sectors, especially when it comes to energy, this country will grow more than the 1.8%.
So they're arguing for Reaganomics. They're saying if you let the billionaires keep more of their money and you tax them less, that they will spend that money in the economy and everyone will make more money. When we know historically that is not true. What the billionaires do is they reinvest the money that they get from tax breaks into their own companies so that they can profit off of their own tax breaks. We know this because trickle-down economics has never once worked in the history of time.
The Office of Management and Budget thinks it will. So right now, the nonprofit CBO, they say nonpartisan. CBO says we're only going to grow at 1.8%. It's going to add X amount to the deficit. Not if everything goes the way it did last time. You can get the growth necessary to work on the deficit down the line.
The CBO also, to your point, Brian, they don't include the tariffs, and they also don't include...
They don't include the tariffs because Trump changes the tariffs every day. We're putting a 145% tariff on China. Never mind, I'm lifting the tariff. We're putting a 90% tariff on Canada. Never mind, we're lifting the tariff. Yeah, because you can't predict it, dumb fuck.
We made $69 billion in tariffs so far.
Exactly right. So they're not including that when they scored this bill.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
Fucking idiots. Let's see what the Gaza news is. Israel military recovers 2 hostages' bodies in southern Gaza. No, that's just every single fucking story is going to be about this, it seems like. Koofs, how you doing, brother? Welcome back, Koofs. All right, boys, girls, ladies, don't ban them yet. You know the drill. It's time to start money laundering, everybody. It's time to start money laundering in the name of Koofs. Money, 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 money. Open up them wallets. Netanyahu says Israel coordinating with clans in Gaza. What the fuck does that even fucking mean, dog? He has a humiliation fetish. I'm pretty sure he does. Thank you for the $10 donation, Disobedient Avocado. DNC money to transgender the kids. I love that. Thank you very much. We're going to spend that money on transgendering the youth. All of them. One by one. Opens up prison wallet. Jesus Christ, Jack, you're a sick fuck. Tel Aviv. Shootings have erupted nearly daily since last week in the Gaza Strip in the vicinity of new hubs. Thank you for the $20 donation, Missing Space. I may have sent 50 already, but God, do I hate coofs. Let's launder some money, baby. Fuck yeah. Money, 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 money. We got $5 donation from XOD, money laundering DNC cash. We got $5 donation from Gecko for the DNC money laundering scheme. Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Remember, I make very little money off of the ad revenue here on YouTube, so 90% of the money that I make comes directly from you guys, from the fans. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you so much. I can't explain to you guys how important you are. So remember, if you want to support the channel, there's only a couple of ways you could do it. You can become a patron on Patreon. You can become a member on YouTube. You can donate money here. You can also buy some Valenti Videos merch right down below, and you can use a 40% off discount code. Guys, also, I'm wondering, do you guys want me to make Koofs merch? Like, I could make a mug that says L Koofs if you want. And then we could literally make money off of Koofs' name. Should I do that? All right, I'll do that. I'll make that later today. Dustin Newell, another $10 for money to launder. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Can I design it? Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll add to the funds another $5 donation from Chase Gaddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Don't give him the satisfaction. No, that's not satisfaction, bro. That would be perfect. I get to make money straight off his fucking name. That'd be fantastic. Grab a coffee from me, brother. Thank you, Camby64, for the $5 donation. Oh, God, another Elon tweet. Ladies and gentlemen, a second plane has hit the Elon tweet. Let's see. Refresh. Koof says, why so fascist and communist? I don't know, brother. Why so wet and dry? Let's see. I super agree with this guy. At some point, Congress has to stop this endless cycle of out-controlling deficit spending. Yeah, brother, this guy's going to tweet all fucking day today. He must be loaded on the cat. He must be absolutely loaded on the cat. Let's see. Strips in the vicinity of new hubs where desperate Palestinians are being directed to collect food. Witnesses say nearby Israeli troops have opened fire. Hospital officials say that at least 80 people have been killed and hundreds wounded. Yeah. That's what the Israelis are doing now. They're setting out traps with, like, food. They're essentially laying out food and medical aid, and then they're lining up snipers waiting for the hungry and starving Palestinians to make their way to the food, and then they open up fire on them. It's insane. They're weaponizing starvation. It's absolutely fucking insane. Israeli military said it fired warning shots in several instances, and it also fired directly at a few, quote, suspects who ignored warnings and approached its forces. It has denied opening fire on civilians and has not claimed Hamas fired in the area of the hubs, though it says it is still investigating. It's crazy. Yeah, Koofs is lonely. Let him stay. He needs some sort of community, so he can have this one. Three aid distribution hubs are being run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. We just got a membership from 2 months from Ove. Won't let me send it. I'll definitely spend some next time. Also, Koofs must be keeping Johnson & Johnson in business with how much he watches you. I know, it's fantastic. Thank you very much for becoming a loyalist, Ove. Israel accuses... Oh, sorry. A newly formed group of mainly American contractors. Israel wants GHF to replace humanitarian aid groups in Gaza and distribute the aid in coordination with the UN. Israel accuses Hamas of siphoning off aid under the UN-led system, but the UN and aid groups deny there is a significant diversion of aid to militants and say the new system, which they have rejected, allows Israel to use food as a weapon, violates humanitarian principles, and won't be effective. This is the tolerant left, man. Geez, you're right. This is the tolerant left. Suck my dick. GHF started distributing aid on May 26th, following a nearly 3-month Israeli blockade that has pushed Gaza's population of more than 2 million people to the brink of famine. The GHF system limits food distribution to hubs guarded by armed contractors. Of 3 hubs that are open, 1 is in central Gaza, 2 are in the far south on the outskirts of the mostly uninhabited southern city of Rafah. Not all have operated every day. Coop said this with a Hail Trump. You know it, brother. Hail Trump, you Neanderthal. On Wednesday, GHF paused aid distribution, saying that it was discussing measures to improve civilian safety with the Israeli military, including changes to traffic management and troop training. All the hubs are located in Israeli military zones where journalists have no access. Let me explain something to you guys. No matter who is involved in the conflict, if one side is refusing to allow independent foreign journalists to monitor the situation, they are committing war crimes. I don't give a fuck if it's the goddamn Americans, okay? I mean, granted, we commit war crimes every goddamn day. I'm saying I don't give a fuck if Jesus' army rises up in Armageddon and the journalists are like, hey, can we come with you? If Jesus Christ says, no, you can't bring journalists, then he's about to do some fuck shit to the armies of Satan, all right? But it's very simple. It's very simple. If you don't want people to be able to record what you're doing, then you're about to do some fuck shit. To reach the sites in Rafah, Palestinians must walk for miles along a designated route where GHF says the Israeli military keeps security. In statements to the public, GHF has warned people to stay on the road, saying leaving it, quote, represents a great danger. Yeah, because the fucking Israelis have probably lined up mines everywhere. Chrissy tweeted again, ladies and gentlemen. So what is this, the 17th? Ladies and gentlemen, the 17th Elon tweet has hit the fucking Twin Towers. Let's see what it says. Who is right? Not Jerome Powell? Dude, is he just dropping weird-ass fucking polls from... What is this? Dude, Elon Musk is such a fucking loser. Holy shit. Distribution usually starts at 5 a.m. each day, but thousands of Palestinians start walking hours earlier, desperate not to miss out on food. That means large crowds passing by Israeli troops in the dark. This is so fucked up. Some of us need drugs 'cause we're so smart, Chris. What? What? Brother, what? Don't engage with Coops. No, engage with them all you want. Coops is my fucking... What do they call him? What is it? My pay pig? Coops is my pay pig. Elon is so smart that he needs drugs, dude. Oh, yeah, like ecstasy? And psilocybin mushrooms? Huh? Yeah, and horse tranquilizers? Uh-huh. Yeah, bro. Absolutely. Heaviest fire has erupted at a nearby roundabout. While shootings have been reported near all 3 hubs, the heaviest occurred Sunday and Tuesday at the Flag roundabout. The traffic circle is located on the designated route of about a kilometer northwest of GHF's distribution hub in Tel Al-Sultan district of Rafah. The hub is a few hundred meters from an Israeli army base. Witnesses said that the early hours of Sunday, as crowds made their way down the coastal road toward the hub, Israeli troops fired warning shots and made announcements through drones flying overhead, telling them to turn back and return when the hub is opened at 5 a.m. By 3 a.m., thousands were massed at the flag roundabout waiting for the hub to open. That was when Israeli troops started firing with guns, tanks, and drones, 3 Palestinian witnesses said. They said they saw people falling dead or wounded as the crowd scattered for cover. Mohammed Ahmed, one man in the crowd, said he saw no provocative acts before the shooting. He said troops, quote, may have opened fire because they felt threatened by the thousands of people in the area. Witnesses gave similar accounts on Tuesday's shooting around 4 a.m. in the same roundabout. Geez, I have a thought, which is, maybe if you don't want thousands of people to be crowding in small areas for food, stop starving them? Maybe bring the food in? You're right, Luigi. That would probably prevent them from dying, which is directly antithetical to the genocidal maniac Benjamin Netanyahu's whole plan, which is to exterminate the Palestinians. So maybe the giant crowd makes it a whole lot easier to gun them down. Maybe that's the point. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? This is all fine and dandy, but I dominate Shiv and Shivussy. Eddie, I will literally beat you to a pulp in chivalry. Beat you to a pulp. Koof says, yeah, all liberal media. You know it, brother. You fucking know it, brother. Liberal media coming in hard. Yeah. The Israeli military said it fired warning shots Sunday at, quote, several suspects approaching them. On Tuesday, it said it, quote, fired to drive away suspects. In a statement, Army spokesman Effie Defrin said, quote, the number of casualties published by Hamas were exaggerated, but that the incident was being investigated. He tried again. He said liberal. Liberal? Nice. He accused Hamas of trying to disrupt the arrival of aid to Palestinians and pointed to drone footage that the military says shows armed men firing at civilians trying to collect aid in the nearby city of Khan Yunis, where there are no GHF sites. The Associated Press could not independently verify the video, and it is not clear who was being targeted. In its statements on the incidents near the GHF sites, the military has not reported the presence of armed Palestinians. The Gaza Humanitarian Aid Foundation says there have been no violence in or around their distribution centers and that its personnel have not opened fire. On Tuesday, GHF acknowledged that the Israeli military was investigating whether civilians were wounded, quote, after moving beyond the designated safe corridor and into a closed military zone, end quote, in an area that was, quote, well beyond our secure distribution site, end quote. A spokesperson injured and killed after moving beyond the designated safe corridor, end quote. Koof said, it's 'cause I'm Koofs. Hell yeah, brother. You got it. You're doing so well, Koofs. You're doing so good. It's paused, Chris? What's paused? I think the live crashed. It's paused. Hello? Fuck happened? Am I still here? Hello? Hello? buffering bad, Chris? We'll give it a second. Give her a second. Give her a second. Fuck. It's been crashing. Is it good now? Looks fine on my end. It looks totally fine on my end now. Could see you now? Oh, okay, good. I don't know what the fuck happened. Is it still crashing? We good? We good? Ha 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 ha. Libriel's stream crashed. Lamau score 1 for Trump. Brother, I don't think you have any friends. Do you have any friends? Is this is the motivation that's going to get you through the day? Is this the motivation that's going to get you through the day? That my stream, it didn't even crash, that it froze for, I don't know, 2 minutes? That's crazy.